I had this friend who, I mean, most people would just call him a little bit slow. He wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. But here's the crazy part. He was making a lot of money. And I found myself sitting there kind of overthinking every single business decision, obsessing over like the perfect strategy. And he literally would just do stuff and it was working. And today I'm going to try and express to you and articulate to you why your perfectionism is actually just sabotaging your success and how embracing being imperfect might actually be the key that you have been looking for. And what's funny is there's a difference between me and my friend. If you were to give me any business idea in the entire world, it doesn't matter what it is. You can even say the most boring business in the entire world. Let's say lawn care. You could say software. You could say e-commerce. It doesn't matter. I can literally map out every single step that it needs in order for it to be successful. Let's just take lawn mowing for an example. All you need is a lawnmower and you need clients. That is literally it. You break this entirely down. And for actual customer acquisition, all you really need is either digital marketing, flyers, or door-to-door sales. And if it was me, I would literally pick flyers and door-to-door sales because I could just hit thousands of houses every day. And until I'm outside of like the localized market, there's no reason for me to not just take the easiest marketing acquisition when it comes to that type of stuff. And I could literally probably just hire somebody $250 a day to just go and knock on doors. And then obviously I'd add upsells like garden maintenance, trimming, fertilizing, and just increase my AOV or my average order value. I can look at any business in the entire world and I can see the entire model inside my head perfectly mapped out. And I'm sure some of you guys are able to map out these businesses as well quite easily. But something that you're going to find yourself running into is what's known as analysis paralysis. When you start asking yourself, which lawnmower should you buy? Should you get the riding one? Should you get the walking one? Does it really matter? Well, I can't really afford the riding one, so maybe I should just not even get one at all. Maybe I should just wait. Or maybe you start asking yourself which brand is the best. And there's just so many options. Maybe I should research for another week. And then boom, you just never even get started. And my friend, on the other hand, he couldn't conceptualize an entire business if his life depended on it. If you asked him to build a software company from scratch mentally, I'm pretty sure he would just stare at you blankly. But he did have a superpower. You tell him, go buy a lawnmower, start knocking on doors, and he would just do it. He doesn't even know the alternatives to overthinking. He doesn't know about any kind of A/B tests or optimization strategies that could cause different reactions. He just sits down and does the damn thing. And I realize that a lot of you guys have this exact opposite problem when you find yourself spending 15 hours just trying to make, a website 0.3 seconds faster, or spend 15 hours trying to identify what the best lawnmower is for you to buy. At that point, you're just completely wasting time. And I have my, I don't know if I have a little bit of Asperger's or whatnot, and I find myself overemphasizing certain areas within my business where I get a degree of analysis paralysis. For an example, I've spent at least 12 hours just trying to get my website to load 0.3 seconds faster because I knew the stat that you lose about 70% of cold traffic if your site takes longer than 2 to 3 seconds to load. And so I found myself obsessing over it. I optimized the images, I compressed the code, I was just literally tweaking the entire servers of it. 12 hours for a fraction of a second of improvement. Now, I wouldn't say that this is necessarily analysis paralysis because this was a very important thing for me to get done, but in the grand scheme of things, I could have either hired somebody else to do it, or I could have just focused on producing more content that pushed more people into the landing page. But I get fixated on these certain little things, these certain little details, such as like dashboard analytics, SEO optimization, tracking pixels, you name it. And like I said, I don't know if it's like the ADHD or some kind of like Asperger's, but I chronically fixate on super minor things occasionally, while the major things could probably be touched more. And so what I'm trying to express here is like everybody has a degree of like fixation. They're going to get fixated on the wrong thing, but that's okay. That is entirely okay. It's okay when you understand that you are doing it and then redirect your attention to something that's more important. And I think my buddy was wildly successful because he was just simply doing the thing and didn't really care about the smaller minority of things. I know it's such a weird concept, but it's very true. He was never stuck in like planning mode. And in this video, I'm going to kind of break down exactly why perfectionism just doesn't work. So first and foremost, perfectionism does not work because it ruins the possibility for the impossible to happen. When you create things exactly the way you think that they need to be created, you lose out on everything else that could happen. Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm running an agency and I decide that I will only work with clients who who don't have an existing brand. I will never work with established brands because I want to be the perfect brand building agency. I get incredibly tunnel visioned and optimize everything for this one perfect scenario. But then what happens when a Fortune 500 company reaches out wanting to work with me? Well, I will miss this perfect opportunity because it doesn't fit my perfect model. And this has happened to us quite a few times. We started an agency focused exclusively on salary-based digital product launches, and we were going to be completely perfect at this one thing. And so we rejected everything else. Then bigger clients started reaching out. Clients who didn't necessarily fit our perfect image, but who had much bigger budgets. And we almost said no to every single one of them because it wasn't within our perfect system. And thank God we didn't, because the point is, like, if business is messy, opportunities don't just come in like this super perfect package that you're expecting. If you're too rigid in your perfectionism, you're gonna miss opportunities that can literally change your entire life. And here is genuinely a brutal truth. True perfectionism, I don't think, can ever even be achieved. Business is constantly changing so fast, and what works today is not going to work tomorrow. And I can't tell you how many times we've spent 70 plus hours creating the perfect SOP, only to have the platform update or the market shift and make it completely obsolete a few weeks later. I know that's probably happened to you as well. 70 hours of perfecting something that becomes worthless. Say Facebook changes their algorithm, Google updates their ranking factors, consumer behavior just simply shifts, or new competitors enter the market. Your perfect strategy literally becomes yesterday's news. And so you're in this perpetual state of constantly chasing this moving target that you can never actually even hit. And yet you're still trying to strive for something that doesn't exist, such as perfectionism. And while you're busy trying to perfect your approach, your competitors are just simply out there executing, learning, teaching, adapting in real time. Which brings me to my most important point. Your idea of perfectionism is completely different to your customer's idea of perfectionism. And whose version of perfect is really worth optimizing for? Yours or theirs? And this is massive, because what you need to understand is entrepreneurs spend way too much time trying to perfect things that don't even matter to their customers while ignoring the things that actually do matter. And you're obsessing over your website's color scheme while your customer's service response time is 48 hours. Or you're crafting the perfect email sequence and your product doesn't even solve their actual problem. And here's the thing, you literally cannot possibly account for every single customer's version of perfect, because a perfect experience for a 25-year-old tech worker is going to be completely different from a perfect experience from a 55-year-old small business owner. And so if you try to be perfect for everybody, you're going to end up being perfect for nobody. And what you need to understand is your customers do not want perfection. They just simply want their problem solved. They want results. They want to feel heard. They want to feel valued. And so what is actually the alternative? It should just do the stuff. And I know that sounds overtly simple, but you need to understand that the more stuff you do, the more stuff you learn. And the faster you learn, the faster you can adapt. And the faster you can adapt, the faster you grow. Action creates information. Information creates clarity. And clarity creates simply better action. And so my slow friend taught me something genuinely profound. Doing things imperfectly is infinitely better than not doing them at all, or just while waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions. So what you need to understand is you need to just launch that imperfect product and improve it based on your customers' feedback. Start that business with the basic equipment and then upgrade as you grow. Send that email campaign even if the design isn't magazine worthy. Because while you're sitting there and you're trying to constantly make something perfect, there's somebody out there who's just making something happen. And so I want to give you a challenge today. What is one thing that you have been an absolute perfectionist about? What is one project that you've been planning and replanning instead of just starting? I want you to take that thing, strip it down to the bare minimum viable version, and do it within a week. Not perfect, just do it. Because perfect is the enemy of done, and done is the enemy of absolutely never. And so I need you to just start messy, learn fast, and adapt quickly. It is very simple. And I promise you that your future self is going to thank you for choosing this simple action over analysis paralysis. And then just please remember, your competitors aren't trying to be perfect. They're just simply trying to win. And with that, I'll leave you. But as always, just remember, you have a friend in me, and if you need any help, you know exactly where you can find me.